Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel Arkenfell. My name is Oleg, and for those who are new, I'm a hobbyist game designer and pixel artist. Recently I've been focused more on 3D stuff because I'm learning Unreal Engine 5. But I found this old footage of me drawing this guy. It's my good friend Kai. He's a tattoo artist, and he asked me to make some pictures of him for a tattoo magazine. And yeah, this was the picture, and I just decided to take it as a reference photo, you know, to practice my pixel art skills. And yeah, this is gonna be a voiceover over the process of creating this piece. And by the way, doing some cross promotion here, if you want to check him out, he's on Instagram. I just gonna put a link into the video and into the description so you can check out his work. This piece is about 100 pixel tall and 70 pixel wide, so honestly it's quite small. So it is a challenge for me to draw at this resolution and replicate a realistic face. But honestly, this is quite fun to figure out how to, you know, make it still look somewhat similar, or that it still resembles the source material. But as we go along, you will see this is of course not a 100% accurate representation of the source material, and I think, I'm not sure, of course, maybe there are people who can do this at this resolution, but I cannot. So I sacrifice sometimes some of the facial features or some of the accuracy for a more holistic feel of this picture. Another challenge with this type of pixel art with the 1-bit style is the lack of color. Or actually it can be also an advantage because you don't have to think about different color combinations. You just have this very strict limitation of using only black and white, and you have to figure out how to make it work. And you see me readjusting, resizing, and kind of redrawing some of the parts constantly, because again, at this size, like, every single pixel counts, and every single pixel can make a huge difference in the outcome. Here I'm redrawing the eye because it looks more cartoony than realistic, and well, my goal is not to make it necessarily realistic, but to give it more life. And again, especially at this size, it's difficult to, you know, put in all the details that you have, of course, in the picture, or let's say in the photo. So, for example, the pupil, I cannot draw a solid circle. It just would look weird. So I'm trying to make a half circle and then put a very small, very tiny, just 1 pixel reflection into it. And as you will see in a moment, this 1 pixel, this tiny reflection in his eye, when I shift it to the right, this immediately changes the way he looks and the direction in which he looks. And because of the perspective, because his head is not looking straight to the camera but rather away from the camera, the second eye is kind of squished, and it took me quite some time to get it right. And if you ask yourself, what am I using to draw this picture? I mean, what kind of hardware? In this particular instance, I'm using a very old, tiny, basic Wacom board or Wacom tablet. Doesn't even have a screen, just a pen and, you know, the black board you're drawing on. I guess it just gives me more of this natural feeling of drawing with a pen on paper, but honestly you can use just a mouse. It's absolutely enough, and for pixel sprites and pixel assets I use the mouse all the time. Another thing you should be doing, especially while drawing faces, is flipping the picture horizontally from time to time, because you get used to seeing this picture just from this particular position or perspective, and as soon as you flip it, you might discover that it looks kind of weird, so you have to adjust for that. You can flip it and work on the flipped image, and then flip it again, and do this a couple of times, and eventually it will improve. And here I'm drawing the neck and leaving out a big portion of the neck, just black, and so it naturally looks like a big shadow is casted under the chin. Drawing hair is always difficult, and especially in pixel art it's a different beast. I cannot draw single hair, right? So I'm kind of imitating hair by creating those reflections on top, and because he has this kind of undercut, I'm trying to use dithering to create this volume of thick hair on the top and thin hair or very short hair on the sides. And again I'm adjusting the shapes, the outlines, for example on the hair, because the hair are natural thing and it should not look like a helmet. You see me here adjusting and erasing some of the reflections and redrawing it again, because I don't want to go overboard with the reflections. It depends of course on the mood you want to create, but in this case the light comes from the left and the top, and it falls on his hair and it falls on his face, and it casts a shadow under his chin, on his neck, and also it casts a small shadow on his cheek. So I wanted the cheekbone to pop and give him this masculine look. And as you saw in the preview or in the thumbnail, he has a lot of facial tattoos, and I tried to recreate them, but it just didn't work out. Maybe if I kept on going and tried out different tattoo variation it would work, but at the moment I just prefer this clean style. Some of the tattoos are very small, very delicate, so it might look like mush. So I thought, well, leave it as it is before make it look worse. And usually with this type of portrait I like to draw a small part of the body, like the back, the neck, or the shoulders, so it doesn't just look like a floating head. And again, I'm not trying to recreate all the small details from the original photo, because he has all these plants and flowers going on, and I just try to get the shadow and light values right. Drawing this part, I don't want to mush everything into one solid piece, so I try to separate them by creating these little shadows, and they also function as wrinkles on the cloth. And as you will see in a moment, I came back to the picture sometime later and I decided to change the eyes to make them a bit more realistic, because right now they look a bit cartoony, like a deer in the headlights, so I changed that. So yeah guys, that's it. I hope I could provide you with some interesting information and maybe encourage you to try something similar. A portrait like that might be really cool in an RPG or a text-based game. So yeah, that's the final picture. I hope you like it. I certainly do. Please let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. I read all the comments and I answer all the comments. Maybe you need something similar, a portrait or assets for your game, please let me know, I'm open for ideas. If you're interested in game design, game development, or just 2D or 3D art, please check out my other videos, I think you will find something interesting. Thank you very much for watching, have fun creating stuff, bye.